Hello viewers, welcome to this video lecture series on analysis and design of algorithms. In this session, I shall explain you how to improve the running time of an algorithm. So in the previous session, we have seen by using the frequency count method, how we are writing the running time or the time complexity of an algorithm. For one algorithm, we got the time complexity as constant. For one algorithm, we got as order of n. N is what? A linear function. And for one more algorithm, we got as the order of n square. N square is quadratic. So you know the order of growth, basically it starts from the constant, okay, order of 1. Here what I am basically trying to tell is, if you have a running time, for example, the time complexity of an algorithm as n, so n, order of n is definitely greater than these two previous values, log to the base 2n and order of 1. Now, if you're writing any algorithm and for which you got a linear function, do you want to reduce it to this log to the base 2n? Do you want to reduce it to constant? What technique you need to use? What logic you are going to change so that you can reduce the time complexity of the algorithm? So in this session, I shall take a very simple algorithm and show you the difference. One time we are using one logic, second time we are using the other logic, and for both of these logics we are trying to find the time complexity of the algorithm. We'll see the difference. Also we'll plot graph for each of these methods. So the two methods are written over here. You can see here you have one algorithm which is used to find the sum of n numbers, and this is the first method. So this way you are writing the logic, and if we use the frequency count method in order to determine the time complexity of the algorithm, the very first statement takes 1 unit of time, this statement 1, this one n plus 1, this one n, this loop which is this statement which is inside the for loop will take how much? N units of time, and this one in the for loop will take the maximum n plus 1, and we have a simple printf statement which will take only 1 unit of time. So this method I have shown you. Now why I am writing it again is just to tell you how a particular algorithm's time complexity can change. So 1 plus n plus 1 plus n plus 1, you got how much? 2n plus 3. So ignoring the constants and the coefficient, you will get n. So order of n. If you want to plot a graph to show the behavior of this algorithm, you have to take like this. On the y-axis you are taking time, and on the x-axis you are taking the value for the input n. So n, if it is smaller, definitely it will take what? Less time for the program to get executed. If you are taking a larger value of n, then it will take more time to complete its job. For example, if you take like this let us take you are giving 1000 numbers here, then 2000, then after some time you are giving n value as 3000, after some time you are giving n value as 5000. Like this you are increasing the value. When you try to increase the input size of an algorithm, of this algorithm, proportionally the time to complete its execution will also increase. For example, if we take, because it is a linear function, as this, what is that we got? The running time, the time complexity of the algorithm, what we got is order of n. N is what? Linear function. Linear, as this value, as the values on the x-axis increases, proportionally the values on the y-axis will also get increased. I am taking some values on the time axis: 1 microsecond, 2 microsecond, 3 microseconds, 4 microseconds, 5 microseconds, like this. Okay. When you are giving an input size of 1k, it is getting completed in 1 microsecond. Let us assume it is just an estimation, not an exact value. For 2000 values, it might take 2 microseconds. For 3000 values, it might take 3 microseconds. For 4000 values, it might take 4 microseconds. And for 5000 values, it may take 5 microseconds. So when you join this, you are getting like this. So this behavior is called as the linear behavior of an algorithm, and the time complexity is order of n. N is linear here. Now the same algorithm, because if you see here in the order of growth, n is here, okay. The same algorithm, can we try to use a different logic and see whether we will get the running time of an algorithm a different value, whether the time complexity of the algorithm improves here? So let us see. See, moreover, do not get confused when I say time complexity of an algorithm is improving. Improving here is not a higher value for the time complexity. In fact, it is a lower value. So we can say how to reduce the time complexity of an algorithm. If we say improve, that means we are going to show that the algorithm takes less amount of time to complete its execution. See, second method, what logic we are using is, in order to sum up the n numbers, we have a formula in mathematics, n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So what is n? If you are taking 10, 10 into 10 plus 1, 11 divided by 2, you will get the sum of n numbers. So this you are carrying out only in just one step. Whereas in the previous method, what you have done is you are using a for loop. So for that many iterations, the loop has to get executed, and definitely when there is a loop and the number of times that particular loop gets executed will also increase depending on the value of n, and the basic operation here is this one, which will get executed that many number of times, whatever is the value of n. Whatever times the basic operation gets executed, that time itself is the time complexity of an algorithm. Now here if you see, we don't have any loop here also. In the second method, we have only two simple statements. So for any type of assignment statement, if you remember, for any type of print statement, it will take only 1 unit of time. So here we have two statements, so it will take 1 unit of time. Print sum, 1 unit of time. Even otherwise, if we assume that okay, this is a formula which is not a simple assignment statement, it is going to take more time. Let us take 2 units of time. Just it is an estimation. Please understand, it's not an exact value, 2 units of time. So 2 plus 1, 3. Whenever you get any number, then what is that? You are writing in terms of constant. So time complexity of this algorithm is order of 1. That means it is a constant. So if I have to plot a graph for the second method, then look here, it will start from 0. I am giving the input values as 1k, 2k, 3k, 4k, 5k. Whatever values I gave for this method, same way. And then I will write on the y-axis 1 microsecond, 2 microsecond, 3 microsecond, 4 microsecond, 5, like this. So this is your time and this is the n value. Okay. Now for this particular algorithm, the behavior is what? Constant. That means whatever may be the value for n, you are getting what? Even if you take this as 3 microseconds, then what I have to do is 3 microsecond is here. Whatever may be the value for n, if n is 1000, it is taking 3 microsecond. If n is 2000, it is taking 3. If n is 3000, it is taking 3 n is 4000, if n is 5000. So when you join this, what is that you are getting? So this behavior is a constant time behavior, which you can observe here in the order of growth. This is the lowest value. What you got from the previous method is the linear, and what you got from this method is the constant time behavior. So this is just an example to show you how a particular algorithm's time complexity can be improved. So in the first case, this is the graph wherein you can see it is a linear behavior. As the input size increases, the time also increases. But in the second method, as the input size increases, the time is same. Any value you give for n, it is same. You can definitely experience this in the lab by giving a higher value of n. See, even if you give value higher, in a sense, 100, 1000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore, you may not see the difference. You just see, you try to give a value which is above 10 crores, provided your system will also accept such a higher value. So that particular input value, suppose if you are giving 10 crores as the input value n. For the first method, when you give the input, press the enter key and start counting the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe you will get after 7 seconds or 8 seconds. So that is how it is taking that much time to give an output. But for the second method, when you are using this logic, for the same logic, if you are giving an input size of 10 crores, you give the input, press the enter key, immediately it will appear. It has not taken even 1 extra second also, immediately. That means it is having a constant time behavior. This is what I wanted to convey in this session. Hope you find this session useful. If you find it useful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.